introduction today. Alaska, take it away.
Hi, my name's Alaska. We do the dog psychology and training center.
And today we're going to be talking about
Going potty.
No, but it does involve a liquid. Water. We are going to be giving you tips and advice.
Because I had this squirt of water, and Veronica was walking a dog. It had water in it, but I did not squirt it at them. So if you squirt water at the dogs, that can get them really. So we don't want to do that.
Do you think squirting water at a dog will make them like the water or be more afraid of the water?
Being afraid, we can only do that when they're ready.
That's right, when they like it. Because some dogs may never be ready for that. Just like Mommy doesn't ever really like getting squirted by water.
But you like going in the pool.
I do like going in the pool.
But do you like getting squirted when you're in the pool?
No.
Well, I mean, like, when you're in the pool and you, like, if your legs are in the pool, are you okay with it squirting your legs?
I don't even like being splashed in the pool.
No, I mean squirted. It won't splash.
Squirting is like splashing. All right, guys, we're going to get started. So, Gigi's here. Say hi, Gigi.
Hi, Gigi.
So, we're going to give you today's video. We're going to be talking about dogs that are afraid, nervous, or do not like water. So, today's video is going to focus on those dogs. If your dog likes water, great. Kudos to you. Keep doing what you're doing. For those of you whose dogs are more timid around water or just want nothing to do with it, this video is going to give you little tips and nuggets to help get them more comfortable in and around water. So I had a list and then I forgot to turn it back on. So can we put our leg down for the video? You goose. Okay, so the first tip was bath time. A lot of people don't know this, but bringing your dog into the bathroom and then filling up the tub with your dog in the bathroom or even in the tub is actually really scary for dogs, just because that water hitting that plastic or whatever, I don't know what tubs are made out of, but that water hitting that tub is really loud to dogs and it kind of echoes and it's just a lot of really loud, scary sounds. So what we recommend is to fill the water up probably 2 to 3 inches, not very far. And if your dog is like 5 pounds, then maybe we'll fill it up like a half an inch or an inch. But 2 to 3 inches for the bigger dogs. Fill the water up and then bring your dog in. And I like to make bath time fun for dogs, so it doesn't have to be stressful. If you just take a few extra minutes before bath time to help get everything ready before bath time, you and your dog might actually have a decent time. If you just last minute bring your dog in, fill up the tub, throw your dog in, scrub them and get them out, it's a little bit more traumatic. Just like with kids, we want to let bath time be fun. They get time to play and splash and do their thing, but then we also have to clean them and wash their hair and body wash and all that. So for dogs, have the similar mindset of letting them enjoy it before we scrub them and pour water all over them and make them not like that part. So what are the things that we do to help dogs like bath time? If your dog likes toys, if your dog's really toy motivated, you can get some water toys that float and you can just let them bob around on the top of the water and let your dog start splashing them around. If your dog's more hesitant in the water, you can, if you feel brave enough, maybe put a little bit of peanut butter on some of those toys so your dog can lick them off and it'll just it starts to have a positive spin on bath time. I like putting ice in water for dogs because it floats around and it's kind of slippery, so they have to work really hard at it and they have to kind of dip their mouth in the water a little bit to get it. So if your dog's food motivated, you can do frozen treats or ice or treats that won't really make your bath really, really gross and messy if your dog doesn't eat it. Because that's a risk. Your dog may be so stressed in the water that he doesn't want anything to do with it. And if that's the case, you're putting too much water in the tub. If your dog is so afraid in the tub, put your dog in the tub with no water. None. No water. Just your dog in the tub. Give him a Kong filled with frozen peanut butter or some toys that don't make a loud banging sound. So I wouldn't do like the hard plastic nylobones in the tub because one, they might scratch your tub. But two, if your dog bangs it, it's going to make a big billowing, echoey sound. That's going to be really scary. So maybe some softer toys, a rope toy. Again, we're talking about a tub with no water. Baby steps. Start with something you know your dog can accomplish, and then gradually get harder and harder and make it more and more realistic to a bath time. So harder and harder to be going, you know, a quarter of an inch of water and then a half an inch of water. And you're not doing a quarter inch of water today, a half an inch of water tomorrow, and an inch in 3 days. Way too fast. Go at your dog's pace. For some dogs, that could be a quarter inch of water every day for 2 weeks, and your dog gets to go play in there for 5 minutes. For some dogs, it could be a quarter inch of water for a day, and your dog's like splashing like crazy. You've got water on your ceiling because your dog was having such a blast. Okay, maybe go up to a whole inch of water the next day, and see how your dog does with that. And if your dog hesitates in that water, then the next day go another inch of water until your dog acts like this is the best thing in the world and it's not bothering them. They're no longer afraid of it. That's when you know to move up to a higher level water. Another thing you can do if you don't like using your bathtub is a kiddie pool. You can buy them for $5 or $10 at Walmart or Toys R Us. If they still have Toys R Us's, they all closed, I thought. But anyways, get a kiddie pool. Fill it up with the same thing, half an inch of water, a couple inches of water for those bigger dogs, a half an inch to an inch for those little tiny dogs, and make it fun. If your dog's afraid of any amount of water in that tub, then don't put any water, or that kiddie pool, we're talking about the kiddie pool now, then don't put any water in it and just sit in there with your dog. Read a book, let your dog lay on your lap, let your dog lay beside you, give your dog its food in there. Get them comfortable with that environment before we add water to it. So that's how we get dogs to get used to bath time. And then, okay, well, just give us a second because we're live right now. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, so then the next step would be bodies of water. Raider, do you want to say hi to everybody? Say hi. What's your name? You gotta say it louder so they can hear you.
Raider.
Cool. And what do we do here?
Dog psychology.
Dog Psychology and Training Center. Very good. All right, so we're talking about for bigger bodies of water. If you have a pool, a pond, the ocean, if you guys like to go to the beach a lot, how to get dogs used to those types of bodies of water. So again, start slow. If you think about, dogs have the average IQ of a toddler. So if you think about teaching a toddler how to swim in a pool, you don't throw them off the deep end with no floaties or any type of training. You go slow. Maybe start on the steps, letting them sit on the steps, splashing with their little toys. Please don't kick the table. And then when they get more and more comfortable, we start to invite them to go out into the deep end. So same is true for a dog. Don't just expect that if you throw your dog into the water, they're going to love it. Some might, and that's okay. That means they're just a water dog. Some breeds are more prone to liking the water, but I have met golden retrievers who don't like water. And I have met bulldogs that I have been told by some families, oh, bulldogs can never go swimming. They just hate the water. And then I've heard from other families that their bulldog loves swimming. So it just depends on the individual dog. Some dogs just really take to the water. Other dogs, not so fast. So for bigger bodies of water, we'll talk about pools first. If you have an above ground pool that does not have steps going down into the water or a shallow end for your dog to get in and out, I would not start your water training there. Because it's basically all a deep end for your dog. They won't know how to get out. If you have a ladder, it's still not good enough yet for your dog in that type of environment. We can build up to that, absolutely. But for initial teaching your dog to get over its fear of water or to like the water for the first time, if your dog's never experienced a pool, not the best water environment to start in. Just because it's really scary for dogs. They tend to go into panic mode as soon as you put them in that water, and their only thought is how to get out, and there's no way for them to get out on their own without you. So they do not feel comfortable being in the water. So we're going to talk about pools that have steps that go down into water and pools that have a shallow, like a beachy, like you can walk down into the water. Those are really great pools to start teaching your dog to enjoy the water because they have an out. Again, just like with the bath, we want to start with just a couple inches of water and let them gradually get deeper at their own pace. So don't encourage your dog to go 10 feet into the pool the first day. All we're looking for is them touching the water with their paws, and you can praise, treat, hug, love, whatever your dog's love language is, to let them know that's exactly what you're looking for. They did a great job. So, so for that pool environment, we talked about water toys that float. Kong has a great variety of floating water toys. They have a floating Kong. They have like a floating rubber stick. that we can play fetch with.
But don't just give like if you have a dog that is giving birth to a baby, don't just put that baby in somewhere that has water. You have to give it a chance for it to have its mother, for them its teeth, because if it's too small, it can drown.
That is great advice. If you have a mama dog who is getting ready to give birth to puppies or just gave birth to puppies, that mama dog and her puppies probably shouldn't be in the water, because the mama dog's body needs to heal from having those puppies, and those puppies are not yet ready to go swimming. Good advice. I forgot to mention that. If your dog likes toys, Kong has some really great dog floating water toys. If your dog likes food, a lot of kibble will float. You can get some treats that maybe float. I wouldn't do sinking things yet for the first few, preferably weeks. But something that can float on the surface that you can just throw in, so here's the beach. Okay, so this side's land and over here is water. So I would throw a little piece of kibble right here, right at the bridge of water and land, so that your dog gets more and more comfortable just picking that treat up by the water. And then, Blair joined us. Can you say hi, Blair?
Hi, Blair.
And then as your dog is running to pick up that piece of kibble that you're throwing on the border of land and water, then you can start throwing that kibble an inch into the water. So again, we don't want a sinking one. We want something that's going to float, but just throwing it an inch in, your dog is going to start building up its confidence slowly but surely. And it's a beautiful thing to see a dog that was fearful of the water or unsure of the water doing this little exercise, because they do get more and more confident, and you can just see it in their face, like, oh, I did it. Did you see me? It was great. So go slow. If your dog's doing great getting it in the when you throw the kibble the first couple inches in the water, your dog's doing great, but then you throw it like 3 feet into the water, your dog is going to be overwhelmed and feel like a failure because they are not confident. They are not ready to go get it that far. So go slow, go painfully slow. You're going to think your dog is never going to get there, but if you go at the slow pace, your dog will surpass you in getting there, because they will hit a moment in their water etiquette where they love it and they're in it. If you go too fast too soon, you are going to make it extremely difficult to ever get your dog to, one, go into the water, let alone enjoy the water. And that's the beauty of a dog swimming. They love it when they are conditioned properly. So for pools, start with those shallow ends. As soon as your dog is playing in the water on those shallow ends, again, we're talking about shallow ends, we're also teaching them how to get out. So when they start going a little bit deeper, if they have steps that you're playing on, so you throw that kibble so they're on the first step, or they can just reach their head down while they're still on land to pick it up off of that first step, then you can start encouraging them to get down on that first step. So they should only be in about, depending on your step, 5 to 6 inches of water, and then teach them how to get out, which they probably will do right away. Like they come in and they're like, I'm out, and then encourage them to come back in to get that treat or that toy. But just letting them get in and out, in and out, in and out. It's creating a couple different things: confidence in their water, in that they can survive because they know how to get out, but also that muscle memory. So when your dog does accidentally panic for whatever reason, just like kids sometimes will get a little scared in the water, that muscle memory is there on how to get out safely. So teaching them how to get out. And then let's see. Who's this? Who's here watching us right now?
Dad!
What do you want to tell him?
You're crazy, Dad. Really? You can do what?
You're crazy, Dad. Let's see. Okay, so we talked about playing in the shallow water. How long does this process take? Again, that's up to your dog. Go slow. Slow and steady wins the race. What were you going to say?
I was going to say that if your dog, if there was danger coming and your dog is, in the middle of the water, when it's ready and there's danger coming, you should really say, come here, boy, and put treats and really expect it to come there and get it out of the water.
So Alaska brings up another great point that I just kind of skipped over. I wouldn't do off-leash water play at a beach or a pond that's not on your own property, unless your dog is off-leash reliable. What does off-leash reliable mean? If there was danger, if there were people coming, if there was a dog that doesn't look friendly, and you said, Morgan, come here, Pepper, come here, you know that your dog will drop whatever they're doing and come to you. Super important to have that solid recall command, that come command, before we practice off-leash etiquette in the pool. So for ponds and oceans, they generally have that gradual incline into the water. So what we talked about with the pool, throwing that kibble or those toys on the very edge of the beach into that little, the first few inches of water and then getting farther and farther, is the same process that you would use that I mentioned in the pool. So deeper waters, how to get them to confidently go out into those deeper waters. So once your dog is splashing and having a blast in the shallow end, and for some dogs that have had some really traumatic events in water, it may take all summer to get them to the point where they're confident to actually be swimming without touching the bottom of whatever surface. So like they're swimming into the deep end, not touching, and then know how to come out. It might take all summer for them to get to that point. So again, don't rush it. Let your dog go at their own pace. So when your dog is starting to play and love those shallow ends, then we're going to start tossing those floating dog toys farther and farther out into the water to encourage them to go out and then come back, go out and then come back. You can also have a long line on your dog, and a long line is basically a leash that can be in various sizes, 10, 15, 20, 30 feet. So that if your dog goes too far out and you're afraid they might keep swimming or they might panic and go the wrong way, especially like in the ocean, you can literally reel them back in with that long line. So I would definitely have that with your dog for those first few introductions into the deeper waters so that you know they will turn around and come back. The other cool thing is once your dog is swimming into those deep waters and coming back, then we can start playing games that encourage your dog's head to go underwater. And so you can use sinking toys or sinking treats for this. So sinking toys would be like the hard nylabone plastic toys, a regular Kong, not the water one, but a regular Kong. And so you can just literally put those in the shallow end. So maybe they're half in, half out, and your dog has to just grab it and bring it back. Once your dog's doing that comfortably, then start putting it in maybe 4 or 5 inches of water. And you can set it there and encourage your dog to go get it, and he can bring it back. And just keep getting it deep and deeper until, again, the dog has no problems with this. If your dog hesitates when it's half in the water and half out, don't go any farther for a long time. Keep it very consistent at that level until your dog's confident. When your dog's confident, then we go deeper so that it's completely underwater. The toy is completely underwater before we ask your dog to get it. Are you mocking me? Let's see. That's all we got. So that's it. Do you have any other advice and tips for getting dogs to be comfortable in and around water?
Also, if when like the babies are born, if they have a father that like they're the same dogs, they like each other, and they're together, like that one wants to be the dad, let that one get used to the babies. Don't just pull that one back into the water. Because you can't just put dogs in the water when they're not even ready for it.
But definitely make sure your puppies are old enough to go into the water. And I would say that's probably between that 10 and 12 week. If you have your own, pool in your backyard or a pond, I probably wouldn't do like a public, like ocean beach, just because that's a lot of stress for that little puppy at that age. But yes, definitely make sure that they are ready to be exposed to water play. And if you have a friend who has a dog that you know is friendly, has had no issues with other dogs in the past, and your dog's friendly and has had no issues with dogs in the past, it's really, really great to have that dog come over and show your dog water etiquette. Dogs very much monkey see, monkey do. If they see another dog having fun in the water, they're going to be like, oh, he's doing it. I guess I can too. So that's always really great if you have a water dog that you know of that is friendly and your dog's friendly. You can definitely use that to your advantage to encourage that water play. Southie can definitely be a water dog. I don't know if Southie's ever tried to go in our pool. Do you know if Southie or training dogs ever try to go in the pool?
I don't think they ever done. I just think that our dogs have like Pepper.
Yeah, we've let a couple client dogs though, but I don't know if Southie has. We can definitely talk about it more if you're having some issues, Jenna. I know you're watching this later, but when you watch it, if you have some questions, let us know. This girl. All right, we're gonna get out of here.
Ah.
Oh, careful, does that hurt? So would you like to say the adios?
Adios, amigos.
Adios, amigos. If you like this video, please subscribe so you don't miss our next videos. If you have a friend who has been trying to get their dog used to the stop that who has a dog and would like them to get used to the water, please share this video on your page or directly to their personal feed, because we want to help as many people and dogs as we can, and we can only do that through your help. So please share, please subscribe, and we will see you guys next Thursday. Bye.
Bye.
Adios, amigos.
Adios, amigos.
See you later.